With the bull market heating up, it is time to talk about some exit strategies. What are the do's and don'ts? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. This video is sponsored by Obsidian Finance, the place to make swaps with low spread and low fees. Recently, I got a comment on one of my videos by XGen, and if you join the live streams, you might have seen him before. But he says the following: I know everyone's going to hate me, but I'm selling all around 40 cents. Then we're going to see what the market does next. September is normally a bad month post the halving year. And I do have a lot of thoughts on this comment, but first, I want to applaud XGen for at least having an exit strategy, because I do know for a fact that many people watching now do not really have yet an exit strategy. But that's fine, because we still have some time left before we will see the absolute bull peak. So guys, don't forget to really strap in and also hit that like button. Let's talk a bit more about this comment. First things first, he does mention he wants to sell at about 40 cents for CRO. And to many, that's a very, very low target. And I do tend to agree with that sentiment, because if you take a look here at the CRO rainbow chart, you can see that 40 cents is below the fair value zone and also still in the blue. So personally, I'm not selling here. But I honestly cannot fault XGen for setting that target, because if you take a look at his argumentation there in the replies, you can see he will make a 3x on CRO with 40 cents, and he will be able to buy a new car and also get the house deposit. That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why we are into CRO and also investing into cryptocurrency in general, because we're here to change our lives. And I do believe that new car and also the paid off house deposit would definitely change XGen's life. A lot lower mortgage and also hopefully a lot more enjoyment when on the road. So guys, very important that you do what makes you happy. So 40 cents makes you happy, guys. Follow XGen as well. There are two things though that I really do not like about this comment, because what he mentions after selling at about 40 cents, which is a good exit strategy, then I'm going to see what the market does next. And this, guys, is super, super risky. I do not recommend at all, because you FOMO buy back in. And let me show you a quick example of what happened to many people around me back in 2021 with CRO, because we have seen this, right? We have seen it go up and down, even down about 50% sometimes. It's part of the course. We go up and we go down 30%, 20%. That is normal crypto. So what many people thought, here at 40 cents also, about 40 cents, a good 2x after going towards 20, they also sold. They sold because they thought, well, we might be able to buy back in later at a lower price, because, well, a 20% drop happens all the time. So they sold at about 40 cents, hoping to buy more CRO with the same amount of money at a lower price. But what happened, instead of actually, dipping down, it went up and up and up and up and only up. So this person actually changed his strategy. Well, he sold here at about 40 cents and he bought back in lower or higher at about 80 cents. So this time around, he had less CRO than previously, because he had to buy back in at a higher price. But unfortunately, the price didn't keep rising. Instead of going to $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 for CRO, it kept going down and down and down and down. So this person's net worth also kept going down and down and down. And at this point, he didn't want to sell at all anymore. So he left with a hodl back, and now he's waiting for 4 years, already, to finally go back towards 80 cents. So you can actually sell at a break-even point. And this, guys, is what you should not be doing. This is not what you should be doing. Don't exit and buy back in later. That is, guys, like literally the most risky thing you can do, except if you are a very, very experienced day trader. Other than that, I do not recommend. Make your exit strategy, have like a very confident plan, and keep yourself to it. That's the most important advice that I can give in this video. But there's something else in this comment which I really do not like. September is normally a bad month post halving year. Let's talk a bit more about that after a quick word of today's sponsor. Obsidian Swap is one of the best places to make trades on the Cronos chain. you can easily go from CRO into any other token that's available on Cronos. And even better, Obsidian Swap has a quest system as well. So if you make trades, don't forget to also claim your diamonds. For example, if you trade $250 worth of Mary, you can claim 5 diamonds as well. And these diamonds, ladies and gentlemen, can be used in their store. If you go to store, we can even, for example, do the roulette. And if you do the roulette, you can easily make a small gain as well. Of course, it's free, so it's a fun little game. We place our bet, and it's black. So unfortunately, guys, better luck next time. Anyways, let's go back to the comment by XJam, because he does mention September is normally a bad month post the halving year. And he's not wrong, but this is really a narrative that many influencers use. Wake me up when September ends, or like sell in May and go away. There is some truth. If you take a look at the Bitcoin historic returns, you can see in the post-halving years, we have had in September -7%, we have had -5%, and also -19%. And on average, September is a bad month in general, -4% on average. So there is some seasonality in September that is somewhat bad. But there are also green years, you can see here. +7%, +4%. And specifically this September, we do expect a rate cut by the Fed. 92% chance for a rate cut in September of 2025. So I do believe, guys, that altcoins might outperform Bitcoin. So Bitcoin might go down, definitely a possibility, but altcoins might still thrive. And I can even show that to you back in September of 2021. You can see here one big red candle because also Bitcoin went down a bit in September. But overall, September opened at about 15 cents and closed at about 19 cents. So it went up in the month of September, even though there was one bad week in between. So guys, I do not recommend to sell in September, and take a look in October again if you want to join the market once more. In general, that is bad practice. Like I mentioned before, you don't want to sell and FOMO buy back in at a higher price. That is just a very, very bad exit strategy. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy that XJam made this comment because, as he mentioned, this is his first cycle. And many people made this mistake in the previous cycle and also the cycle before that. I've been here since 2017, so I've learned a few lessons myself as well. And I hope you guys are also learning together with me. But I do also have some tips that actually might help you set a good exit strategy. If you go back here to the rainbow chart, I do want to emphasize that almost no one sold CRO here. Nobody really that I know of sold at exactly 96 cents. So what I would recommend, guys, is try to aim for selling at about here. This is really where the smart 20% sells the most of their CRO. But what I would like to do, guys, with you guys, is a bit of an exercise here. Let's say you have about 100 CRO. And you think, well, we follow this rainbow chart really nicely. We go to about here. This will be a very, very short peak, and it might not even go here, guys. So even if you think, well, this is a good target, also maybe sell a bit here. You sell maybe about 10 CRO here already. Then you sell 20 CRO here. Then you sell another 20% of CRO here. And then you sell maybe the last part at about here. Think about staggered approaches for DCAing in and also DCAing out. Because I think, guys, as we go up here in these rainbow charts, we do get to a more and more expensive area for CRO. So the higher we go, typically the more you would like to sell. And if you want to look really for good areas to make your sell points, I would recommend to also use, for example, Fibonacci levels. These guys are Fibonacci levels. If you take a look at the Fibonacci scale, you can use, for example, TradingView. You can set your sell targets, maybe here at about 1.5 and here at 1.8, or maybe even a bit lower at about 66. You can use many tools like that to determine your sell points, but at least I recommend personally to not just set one target, not say I sell everything at 40 cents. To sum up, ladies and gentlemen, a good exit strategy involves setting realistic targets and also sticking to your plan. Do not sell and buy back later at a higher price because you think it might go even higher, because probably it won't. Also accept that you probably will not catch the exact peak. Almost nobody does, and you're not an investing genius. Also, to not miss out, do use a staggered approach where you sell parts of your bag as we climb the ladder, because guys, taking profit is never bad. And finally, a small moon back in case something crazy happens is never bad as well. But of course, guys, this is my strategy. Do not take this as any financial advice, because I might make some mistakes as well. But this is what I personally use, so do with that whatever you like. Having said that, guys, if you want to learn more, do not forget to join our live streams, hit the like button, strap in for more videos, and also check this video if you haven't seen this one about the CRO token yet.